everybody, Shadow Realm here from the Volcano eSig forums and chat room. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick review here of the E2 Cartomizer sold by Volcano. They come in a 5-pack, and I really like them. They're great. They vape real well. They come in this pack here. They don't come with a carto condom, which is fine. I did measure the ohms on it, and they come anywhere between 2.2 and 2.7 is what I've had a reading as. I think the 2.7 was probably inaccurate. I've heard more along the lines of between 2.2 and 2.5, so they're not low res, but nonetheless they're great cartomizers. So we're going to go ahead and fill one up. We're going to go ahead and vape it on the Inferno from Volcano. Now, I've used the same cartomizer. I'll actually show it to you. I'll explain to you why that one's looking a little bit different too in a minute. This one I bought and received on October the 8th. It is now November the 11th, and it is still working and going strong. The instructions that come with the cartomizers, right there on that card, will say not to refill it more than 4 times. Personally, for me, I go ahead and use the flushing method, and we'll discuss that here in just a moment. So I'm going to go ahead and show you here. There is a plunger there in the top. You want to be very careful when removing it. I use a paper clip. I just go ahead and, bend it. You want to barely put your paper clip in there and just kind of pull it out there. And there you have the inside. I'm going to turn it to where the hole is at the top there. You can see the hole right, everything's all backwards to me, right there. That's where you fill it, put your syringe to fill it. With this, you can use the refill kit from Volcano to fill them. It comes with a 1cc syringe, and then that is a plastic needle point that eliminates, any risk of personal injury or anything like that. However, you can fill the cartomizer with, like an insulin syringe or any other small needle type. These are not the mega cartomizers. These are the just the regular 1 ml cartomizers. I'm still waiting to get the mega cartos. So anyways, let's go ahead and we'll fill it. We're going to fill it today with my own mix of cotton candy. And then what you're going to want to do is go ahead and find your hole. Now, I'll point out first, you want to pull this needle off and put it in your juice and draw it out that way instead of trying to suck it through this needle, because I have found that this needle is not really equipped to do that. So you want to find your hole, and you want to gently, very gently, put in your needle. If you start to get resistance, it's a good idea to go ahead and stop what you're doing, pull it back out, and start again. If you bend your needle tip, you want to go ahead and pull it out and either straighten it or get a new needle. Then you want to very, very gently squeeze your syringe, and I mean very slow. You should be able to put in, for the very first fill, you should be able to put in a full ml. And then from then on, I noticed that when I top off my cartomizers, I can top it off from between 0.6 to 0.8, and that's with it tasting burnt. I always want to wipe out the bottom there. It's good practice. I mean, if there's any juice that seeps out the bottom, there usually isn't. But just in case you flood it, it's good practice anyway to wipe the bottom. Plus, it's always good to keep your threads clean. So that's just something I do every time I fill. Another thing I do every time I fill my cartomizer is I take a Q-tip and I always kind of wipe out the inside there. Just keep it clean. Residue built up from vaping prior. Now, you can put this back on when you're done and just vape right away. What I like to do is actually vape with a drip tip. We're going to go ahead and use the Chrome Inferno from Volcano today. You just go ahead and screw that on there. Don't over tighten it, just until you meet some resistance, because then you don't want to risk destroying your threads. So we'll go ahead and we'll pop our cone on there. As I said, I prefer to use the drip tip, so we'll go ahead and we'll pop that back on there. It's pretty good. It brings out more flavor, and it kind of cools off the vapor a little bit when you use the drip tip, so you get a stronger throat hit. I notice when I use the the rubber seal, I get less taste, so to speak. So I've got quite the collection of these. Maybe I'll make a necklace, who knows. Cartomizer is definitely good. I like them a lot, and I actually haven't dripped since I started using the Cartomizers. On to why this one looks different. This one is not a stainless steel color. Doesn't come that way. It came looking like this one. I clean my Cartomizers. That's why they've lasted so long. I do want to make sure to mention that when you clean a Cartomizer, any Cartomizer, you run the risk of it no longer working. There's a lot of people who got their Cartomizers the same time I did. They no longer work. It's either, I think it's just luck of the draw. I use the flushing method. I like to boil Crest Pro Health and use a Carto condom and flush it through the Cartomizer. Then I like to flush it with boiling water to rinse out the Crest Pro Health. Cleans it out, gets all the gunk out. Then you want to blow out all the air. You want to blow out all the water that you possibly can to where there's nothing but air coming through. Then you want to let it sit and dry for a little while. And then you're good to vape. There is a video of Shado, S-H-A-D-O, on the Volcano E2 forums showing an amazing video on how to clean your Cartomizer using the flush method. In doing that method, before I found it, I did soak my Cartomizers in boiled water. That will, over time, these black stickers on these come loose. These are just stickers. That black, it's glued on there. So I went ahead and I peeled it off, and this is what was underneath. I took some adhesive remover wipes and got all the glue off of it, and now it's just beautiful. It has not affected its performance at all. It still vapes well. It does not get too hot to vape. So I really like the look of it, and over time I'm starting to strip all my Cartomizers to where they've got that same look to them. So I'm not sure if there's really anything else to cover with a Cartomizer. Don't drip with them. They're not designed to drip. There are mods out there that people are doing to Cartomizers to where you can drip with them, which is great. Maybe I'll try it sometime. But there's that inner seal on the inside there, and the juice just does not get down there enough to where you can drip. And I think you'd probably end up getting a mouthful of juice. I don't know. I haven't tried it. So, E2 Cartomizer from Volcano with a drip tip, definitely good. You can go ahead and go to www.volcanoesigs.com. You can check us out on the forum, and of course we're always in the chat room, so if you have any questions, come on in. We'll be happy to help you. That's about it. Thanks, and happy vaping.